In the headlines, an entertainment zone among new features for Mass Dominique 2019. Another female candidate joins the UWP ticket for the 2020 general elections. And the Prime Minister's Skerrit says the prudent management of the CBI program is critical. I'm Andrea Lee with the Channel 5 News. Back with the details after this.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evil.
Red cheese, gold rings, all black, everything creeping through the night.
Anywhere you are.
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
There's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evil.
Thank you for staying with us. First up, an entertainment zone is among new features for Mass Dominique 2019. Acting Festival and Events Manager of the Dominica Festivals Committee, Marva Williams, says the zone, which is to be set up on Old Street, will provide continuous entertainment to fill the gaps between parades.
In between the carnival program, we want to create a space, a comfortable space, an entertainment zone where you can actually come and chill, Hopefully this entertainment zone might be on Old Street from, let's say, the Cots area going up to the bank. But the steel pan will be positioned there. We will have a DJ position there, and we're going to set up the vendors and so in such a way, have some tables and chairs on the road. So in between time, probably you came from Juve and you want something to eat, then the entertainment zone will be right there. And probably the t-shirt band is not ready or it's not filled enough for you, then the entertainment zone will be right there. So we'll actually present you with a schedule that shows that.
Another feature which patrons can look out for during the Monday and Tuesday parades is a joint steel band on the road. Pan Time, a steel orchestra from St. Lucia, will be supplying steel pan music in collaboration with a number of local players for Mass Dominique.
Dominica and St. Lucia Friendship Tour is on this carnival, and we're sponsored by the Dominica Lotteries Commission. We're working with St. Lucia. St. Lucia Pan Time will be represented by 21 members, and they are 3 times champions for the St. Lucia Panorama. And it's no surprise that we are partnering with St. Lucia, because in fact Pan in Harmony, who will also join them on the road, has also participated in the Panorama. We'll be playing some of the local calypsos, and we try to arrange some of the more popular road match songs.
The 30-member-strong joint band plans to be on the road for Juve and the Carnival Monday and Tuesday parades. In other top stories, the farming community in Mont Prosper to benefit from a $200,000 donation of equipment. Julian Morris has that story.
The equipment was donated by the United Nations Development Programme UNDP and the Japan-Caribbean Climate Change Partnership. It forms part of a wider program to develop resilient agriculture systems around the Caribbean. In Mont Prosper, the program has been titled Improving Seasonality and Diversity of Vegetable Production.
This seeks to incorporate adaptation measures against the threats of climate change, thereby developing a more resilient crop production system by specifically focusing on organic practices. The project will be implemented mainly through farmer field school sessions on the farms of 40 targeted beneficiaries in this community. These include construction of a shade house with water harvesting system and drip irrigation system, construction of a compost shed, construction of storm and counter drains and establishment of live windbreaks and live grass barriers, and also capacity building and training through farmer field schools.
A total of 40 farmers, 25 females and 15 males, received the equipment on Wednesday to execute the project. The UNDP and the JCCCP has been helping Dominica develop its resilience through other programs.
Acquisition of a water truck for post-disaster use in vulnerable communities. I had the pleasure of being with PS Prevost to see the handover of that truck, and I must admit I'm not normally impressed by trucks, but I was impressed by that water truck. So it's a truck to really meet the needs of the communities in Dominica should there be another disruption of water supply. In Bagatelle, alternate water harvesting and storage project, promoting climate smart agriculture at the Dominica Community High School, and the Morne Rachette Community Emergency Operations Center, seeking to really enhance and address that.
The ministry hopes to see improved sustainable agricultural practices coming out of this project.
The main results expected from the project include a reduced dependency on conventional agrochemicals by becoming more resilient on the use of locally made botanically crop protection products, the incorporation of protective agricultural systems, and improved soil and water resource management practices, and a community producing vegetable and herbs that meet higher quality and food safety standards. We hope to achieve this in terms of major training in using the field, the farmer field school approach in soil fertility and conservation, integrated pest management, IPM, crop nutrition management, record keeping and traceability.
Equipment includes water tanks, soil testing equipment, tillers, seeds and brush cutters.
In infrastructural developments, the Minister for Public Works has assured motorists that road development works in the Roseau Valley will be worth the wait. Dr. Colin McIntyre says the completed road works are expected to transform the Roseau Valley and benefit the agriculture sector.
Because when I was coming up here today, I noticed your village is being totally transformed. Yeah. It took a long time, but it's coming. And you're going to have a serious highway coming up here, which will help in your agriculture. To take your produce back to Roseau and to the markets and to the hotels that you're building, such that they can get down there in a good state. Rather than a rocky road, they're not packed properly and they're bruised up and they're soft. This government is giving you a highway here. Amen. And remember after Hurricane Maria, what happened to you? You were almost marooned out because Les Cali had collapsed on us. It's costing us millions of dollars, but we're cutting that cliff and it's all towards helping you.
Dr. McIntyre told residents of Mont Prosper that more Bailey bridges are also on the way to the constituency.
What I want to promise you here today, though, the only reason why the overbridge Bailey Bridge is not in place is because when Maria struck us, I had the bridge for you, but we had to use it in one of the other bridges that washed away from the other villages. And in Newcastle Comfort as well, a number of us. So we have ordered since, I have ordered since under the Ministry of Public Works, new Bailey bridges, and I'll be putting one up there for you. You know, I was the one who built the first half of that road when I was the Minister of Agriculture.
In more news, a picture of a bloody corpse was making the rounds on Wednesday morning after reports of an early morning shooting in the Marigot area. Despite our attempts to reach the police on the matter, Channel 5 News has not been able to independently confirm what exactly transpired or the identity of the lifeless body of a young man on the ground covered in blood. The police have not confirmed any shooting, nor have they released any official statement on this morning's incident, which was reported to have taken place at the Marigot Fisheries Complex. You are watching the Channel 5 News. Stay tuned for more after the break.
Imagine you have Hollywood at your command. Introducing Flow Evil.
Red cheese, gold rings, all black, everything creeping through the night.
Anywhere you are,
Big girls don't scream hard like Halloween, make me feel alive.
there's a world of entertainment here, and you run the show. Flow Evil.
Welcome back. The United Workers' Party has added another woman to its slate of candidates for the next general elections. Francisca Joseph, who has spent many years working as acting adult education officer, has made the decision to enter politics by joining the United Workers' Party team. Joseph now becomes one of only 3 female candidates within the United Workers' Party. The other 2 being Monel Williams John Baptist contesting the St. Joseph seat and Ernie John Finn, who will be contesting the Castle Bruce seat. Opposition leader Honorable Lennox Linton has confirmed that Francisca Joseph has been selected to be the UWP's candidate for La Plaine at the next general elections. The opposition leader has described Joseph as resourceful and people-oriented. Speaking on DBS Morning News on Wednesday, Joseph said she is not interested in personal attacks on her political opponents. She is of the view that there is too much work to be done to spend valuable time on personal attacks. Prime Minister and Minister for Finance, the Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit, has reiterated his administration's determination to ensure that the CBI program is managed prudently. Speaking at a signing ceremony between government and Vital Developers Limited for a 5-star eco-resort and spa near Loda, Mr. Skerrit said the CBI program must maintain the industry standards. He wants agents and all other stakeholders to adhere to approved standards, recognizing the sensitivity of that business.
Are ensuring that we manage the CBI very prudently. The due diligence process is taken very seriously, because while we appreciate the funds that are coming from it and the investments that are being accrued from it, we want to ensure that we can maintain our good record, our good name in the industry, and we do not compromise on this, because one error can create a problem for the whole system, and we are very mindful of this. And this is why we urge our developers, we urge our promoters, we urge our agents to follow that strict respect in your marketing, in the language that you use. This is a serious business, and it must be treated in like manner. So the government will continue to do what it can with regards to the CBI. Obviously, with everything in this world, you have challenges that you have to deal with. But I believe that we will overcome those challenges as time goes by.
The Prime Minister says great care is being taken in how CBI funds are spent.
This is why we are utilizing the CBI funds in a very responsible manner. Whether it's in housing, whether it's in infrastructure, whether it's paying down on expensive debt, to create more fiscal space for us. We can account for every single dollar that we spend. And we have been able to develop a very good relationship with the developers. And this is why you're seeing an increased number of persons wanting to do business with us.
Farmers in Mont Prosper have been challenged to lead the way in organic farming. The call came from Minister for the Environment, Joseph Isaac. Isaac was speaking at the handing over of equipment for the Improving Seasonality and Diversity of Vegetable Production in Mont Prosper project.
I think that, and more specifically for Mont Prosper, I think you should lead in the initiative of moving, as we say, safe agricultural practices to ensure that we can minimize the use of the agrochemicals. But at the same time, I think we need to protect ourselves from potential cancer by moving aggressively into more organic production. I think for one, we'll have better lifestyle, less stress on the body. Because you see, it's one thing to live long, but you don't want to be living long while you are sick and suffering. So I don't think it is too late. I think we should really try to focus on this.
Member of Parliament for the Roseau Valley constituency, Dr. Colin McIntyre, expressed the same sentiment at Wednesday's ceremony.
But we must understand that before we get to organic farming, we must head towards what you call safe food production. What do I mean by that? Agrochemicals are very expensive and they are very dangerous to our health. The government, we're in the process of even trying to place some bans on some of them to protect us. Weed control, the gramoxones, the Roundup, which is the salt of glycophosphate, and cancers, all of they are seen right now. We have to go more and more into natural food production. So we'll start with safe food production. And safe food production, what we mean by that is we're going to respect the labels, and they're going to be dosage rates, they're going to be withdrawal times, because recently there was a little study analysis done on some of our vegetables. I'm not saying it's those from Mont Prosper, and what we have found that the agrochemical content in the vegetables is too high. And the people are saying to us, especially the hotels, that they cannot feed their guests vegetables and food with such a high content in terms of the agrochemicals. So it points to us that we are also feeding ourselves and our children that as well too, and that's a major problem for us.
And CARICOM insists that economic strangulation and military intervention will only serve to exacerbate the suffering that's already taking place in Venezuela.
Barbados' ambassador to the United Nations, Her Excellency Elizabeth Thompson, speaking on behalf of CARICOM this week, said there must be a political solution that is crafted and owned by the Venezuelan people themselves and their leaders.
We support and call for a pathway to peace, forged not by threats, but by dialogue, not by escalating the tensions, but by cooling them down, not by marksmanship, but by mediation, not by the suffocation of sanctions, but by the tools of diplomacy. Those of us who wish for the peace of Venezuela and the prosperity of her people must actively encourage dialogue where both sides sit, both sides talk, and both sides listen, so that the common ground on which they can move forward may be found. It is in pursuit of this broad objective that our heads of government have offered their good offices to facilitate dialogue among all parties with a view to creating a peaceful resolution to the deepening deadlock.
As part of a pathway to peace, a number of CARICOM countries met in Montevideo and have proposed what's called the Montevideo Mechanism.
It is offered as a peaceful alternative to political deadlock and conflict. Central to the mechanism are dialogue and peace with the aim of creating all necessary conditions for an inclusive, comprehensive, and lasting solution. Our countries are in full support of and endorse the Montevideo Mechanism, which has 4 major components. A dialogue phase which will create conditions for direct contact among the actors involved in an environment of security. A negotiation phase which will provide a strategic presentation of the results of the dialogue, give opportunities for relaxation of positions and tensions, for finding common ground and the identification of potential agreement. And a commitments phase, which offers the construction and subscription of agreements based on the negotiation phase, as well as an implementation phase, which would see the materialization of commitments assumed in the commitments phase with international accompaniment. And I've extracted that, Excellencies, directly from the document.
The Venezuelan government has argued increased migration and the economic crisis are an effect of the economic and financial sanctions imposed by the US and the European Union. Head of the OAS, Luis Almagro, insists the situation is caused by tyranny and dictatorship. In 2017, Venezuela formally started its withdrawal procedure from the OAS, arguing it serves the US interests in the region and it will cease to be a member this year.
To end the news, the headlines again. An entertainment zone among new features for Mas Dominique 2019. Another female candidate joins the UWP ticket for the 2020 general elections. And Prime Minister Skerrit says the prudent management of the CBI program is critical. Feel free to contact us at news@marpin2k4.com. You can also access our past newscasts on our YouTube channel. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Andrea Louis, and to all of our viewers around the world, thank you so much for watching. Join us tomorrow.